Welcome back to the Vibe Podcast, where real conversations meet real energy. I'm so glad you're here. This is your space for truth, growth, and alignment. No filters, no pretending. Now let's tap in, because today we're getting real about love. Let's talk about the difference between love and attachment, because a lot of people think they're in love, but what they're actually experiencing is emotional dependency. Attachment feels intense, it feels consuming, it feels like you need that person. You're constantly thinking about them, checking your phone, waiting for their attention, needing their presence to feel okay. But here's the truth: love doesn't feel like anxiety. Love feels safe. Love feels grounded. Love feels consistent. Attachment, on the other hand, is rooted in fear of losing them, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. So you hold on tighter, even when it doesn't feel good, even when it's inconsistent, even when it's clearly not aligned. Because attachment says, I can't lose this, but love says, I won't lose myself. And that's the difference. A lot of times we confuse the emotional highs and lows for passion. We think, if it's this intense, it must be real. But intensity is not the same as alignment. Real love doesn't leave you questioning your worth. It doesn't make you feel like you have to earn consistency. It doesn't disappear and come back when it's convenient. That's not love. That's attachment mixed with inconsistency. And the hardest part? Letting go of attachment feels like withdrawal, because you're not just losing a person, you're losing the feeling they gave you. All right, let's get into a vibe check. So someone writes in and says, I know this relationship isn't good for me, but every time I try to leave, I go back. I miss them so much, and it feels like I can't let go. Here's the real: you don't miss them. You miss the emotional pattern. You miss the highs. You miss the attention. You miss the version of them that shows up just enough to keep you hooked. But what you're going back to is the same thing that's been hurting you. That's attachment. Because love wouldn't require you to abandon yourself just to keep it. So instead of asking, why can't I let go of them? Ask yourself, why am I so attached to a feeling that doesn't feel good consistently? That's where your power is. Here's the unfiltered truth: you're not in love. You're emotionally attached to someone who isn't meeting you fully. And deep down, you know that. All right, let's close this out with a message from the Oracle. Take a breath, relax your shoulders, and just receive. The message is: release what you're holding on to out of fear. That's confirmation, because attachment holds on out of fear, but alignment requires trust. You have to trust that what's meant for you won't require you to shrink, chase, or suffer for it. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care, it means you're choosing yourself. Thank you for tapping into today's episode of the Vibe Podcast. Send in your questions so we can get into them on the next episode. And remember, protect your energy, trust your intuition, and I'll see you in the next Vibe.